Well, certainly the budget poses some concerns because of the fact that it's still a relatively stable budget in an environment where we have great human needs and a need for additional revenue. However, the other reaction to the governor's budget is that we need to do everything we can to make sure that all the money proposed stays in that system. What we've had in child welfare over the past decade is a whole decade of reform. We started out as one of the worst systems in the country. We've now worked ourselves through 10 years of reform to becoming one of the best systems in the country. And those kinds of systems don't operate cheaply. We need the money to make sure we have reasonable caseloads for workers to do the work. We need to make sure we have the right kind of services in place for kids that have behavior problems and additional challenges. We're now serving much older kids in care than we ever used to before, and they have additional needs that need to be met. And so we need all of those things to stay in place in the governor's proposed budget going forward in order for us to continue to make sure that we have a stable child welfare system. Yes, the state of Illinois is under at least 8 consent decrees with the Department of Children and Family Services that have been entered into over the years by virtue of failing in the past to provide all due and diligent care to the kids in its custody. And so over the years, a number of entities have sued the state of Illinois, and as a result, we've entered consent decrees that provide basic parameters that the state must provide in terms of care or services or workload levels for the children in its custody and the families that those children come from. So there is a need to make sure that we don't violate those consent decrees, because there would be additional costs if we had to go to court, not only for the state in terms of legal fees, but additional costs to the children if we cut out any of those services.